Hello and welcome to the Astral Projection podcast. I often go into the astral from dreams, lucid dreams, and I love the way my dreaming mind helps me out when I want to get to the astral. There are several signs that it uses to try and wake me up, and this is one that I've experienced several times. In this particular experience, I was in a lift with 2 or 3 other people, and this lift was flying out of control, a bit like the one in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, if I remember correctly. The lift sort of shot out of a building, and seeing myself in a potentially dangerous situation often seems to wake me up in the dream. Now, my dreaming mind has used the Willy Wonka scene on other occasions as well. In this particular dream, we were flying through the air in a lift extremely fast. I felt I was in a dangerous situation, and at that point I became lucid. I said to the people with me, "It's okay, this is a dream, and now I'm off to the astral," and I flew out of the lift. I immediately found myself flying in an expanse of what you might call sky, though it wasn't really sky. It was dark, but pleasantly so, and there were stars. I was moving so fast, and I felt so full of energy and joy. It was absolutely fantastic. At one point, I decided to stop and look at my hands. I never get tired of watching them warp and change shape. This time, they were almost transparent with green energy around them, and my fingers kind of elongated and disappeared. It was totally fascinating. I then gathered my thoughts and looked around me, and I saw other people who I knew were also out of body. There were a couple who I felt were from Northern Europe, and I went over to them and asked them where they were from, and they confirmed my thoughts. I then asked them what year they were from, and they said 1993. I told them I was from 2021. I talked to a few other people. One was from 1942 and another from 1920, I believe, for although in the OBE I repeated the years over and over to myself to be sure to remember, the only one I can really be sure about is 1993. However, the other 2 years were definitely what we would call the past. I did think at one point about what I could tell the Northern European couple about what their future would hold, but at the time I couldn't remember anything of note, which seems a bit silly now. After all, how many things have happened since 1993? Maybe I wasn't meant to say anything, as it may not have been their timeline or reality. After, my memory has a bit of a gap about what happened next. I somehow felt very deep within this expanse. I remember walking along a tunnel. We were all in a tunnel. I was with other people, and we were trying to find our way out. It wasn't scary. It just felt like we were part of a process. This is all I could remember, except the lift dream did repeat itself later on in the night, but I don't actually remember anything about that. Now, one of the things that strikes me when I return to my body after an OBE is how detached I feel from life on Earth while I'm in the astral. Refreshingly so, actually, with all the stuff that goes on here. It's as if there's less emotional attachment. Some people ask me why I don't go in search of a cure for some of the illnesses that we have here. But when I'm out there, the thought doesn't enter my mind. I rather think that the answer to curing our health issues goes deeper than simply finding an external cure that we can take into our bodies. Maybe the answer to all our problems lies inside, and each of us have to search within, rather than waiting for someone to deliver it to us on a plate. We have to find the way out of our own problems. Just like being in the tunnel in the experience I talked about earlier, we have to find our way out. It's all part of a process. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.